Alright, welcome to the Strange North channel. In this video, I'm going to compare the Alberta mountain towns of Banff and Jasper. So each of these two towns is in the middle of two of Canada's major mountain national parks. Banff National Park, which is 6,641 square kilometers and gets about 4.5 million visitors a year. And then Jasper National Park, which is 11,000 square kilometers and it gets about 2.5 million visitors a year. And there are other popular mountain towns in Alberta like Waterton and Canmore, but people often compare Jasper and Banff, and so I wanted to do a video looking at these two towns. The town of Banff is a lot bigger than the town of Jasper. Banff has about 9,300 people and the population of Jasper is about 4,000. And I'm going to compare these two towns in the following categories: overall vibe, surrounding area, access to goods and services, local art scene, and general nightlife and dining. And of course, these are just my personal opinions. I'm going to present you a lot of facts, but I'm going to pick my personal winner in each of these categories, and so you might disagree with my decisions. But I just hope that this video gives you a decent comparison of these two towns, and hopefully you learn something new that you weren't aware of before. And let's get into the body of the video. So the first category on my list is the general vibe. And so when you're talking about the town of Banff, this is a lot bigger than Jasper and it's a lot more touristy. It's way busier than Jasper and it definitely has a more opulent feel. It has a lot more buzz to it. And honestly, the shopping in Banff is ridiculous. You can really find anything you'd ever want to here. This is a major tourist area and it just has a ton of shopping options. And so there's definitely a lot more buzz in Banff and it's a lot busier and more touristy. I mean, this is even true when you're comparing the major hotels in each of the two towns. For example, the Fairmont hotel line has beautiful locations across the country. And even when you compare the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge in Jasper, which is a beautiful place, to the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, the Banff Springs Hotel is just a lot more grand and opulent. And so it's a really beautiful place, but it's definitely a lot busier than Jasper and it gets very crowded, and that appeals to some people, but others not so much. And if you decide to drive your personal vehicle into the town of Banff, it's not uncommon to be caught in a serious traffic jam. And then when you're talking about Jasper, it's a lot smaller and it's just more relaxed and friendly than Banff. There's definitely more of a laid-back vibe throughout the town. And I just find that the people in Jasper are friendlier and more easygoing, and it has a way less touristy vibe to it. Jasper is definitely a major tourist destination. It just feels like, compared to Banff, the town is full of locals just living their life, and it has a very laid-back vibe. Again, being a lot less busy, Jasper is definitely quieter than Banff, and so for this category, I'm gonna have to pick Jasper as the winner, but only barely. Honestly, both towns have a great vibe, but I just think with how excessively busy and touristy Banff has become, Jasper just has a more relaxing, laid-back vibe, and I think it's a little bit better right now. And so I think when you're comparing the general vibe between the two towns, Jasper is the winner. Okay, the next category on this list is topography or surrounding area. Obviously, these are both mountain towns, but they have slightly different surrounding features. On one of my older videos, someone commented that to them, it feels like when you're in Banff, the mountains are right on top of you, while in Jasper, it's a bit more open and there's more distance between the town and the mountains, and just a bit more open space, and I tend to agree. But both of these towns just have absolutely stunning features surrounding them, and there's so much to explore. I mean, when you're talking about the area around Banff, first off, you have the gondola on Sulphur Mountain, and that takes you up about 2,200 meters and offers spectacular views of the entire area. I've personally visited this gondola a couple times and I definitely recommend it. You also have the Johnston Canyon. This offers really cool hiking trails, epic bridges, and waterfalls, and this is a very popular area to explore. The area around Banff also has these beautiful lakes. For example, Moraine Lake is one of the most picturesque lakes in the mountains, and it's located in the Valley of the Ten Peaks. And then you have Lake Louise, which is not far. This is another stunning glacier lake and one of my personal favorite places in the Rockies. This lake also features another one of Canada's grand railway hotels, the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. And this is a beautiful facility and I definitely recommend it to those of you with large travel budgets. The town of Banff also contains the Cave and Basin National Historic Site, and this is a natural thermal mineral springs around which Canada's first national park, Banff National Park, was established. I absolutely love this site and I definitely recommend it when you're in the town of Banff. And even when you're talking about skiing and snowboarding, I think that Banff probably has better options. You've got Banff Sunshine Village Ski and Snowboard Resort, as well as Mount Norquay and the Lake Louise ski area, as well as some other hills. And obviously the entire area just has fantastic options for hiking and climbing and enjoying the outdoors. And so there's just a plethora of options to explore around Banff. But honestly, Jasper is no different. That town is surrounded by really epic places to explore. Similar to the gondola on Sulphur Mountain near Banff, Jasper has the Jasper Sky Tram. This is an aerial tramway on the Whistler's Mountain, and this goes up about 2,200 meters, and again, this offers stunning panoramic views of the area. The area around Jasper also has Moline Canyon, which is similar to Johnston Canyon, which offers epic hiking, bridges, and waterfalls. I've also been to this canyon a couple times, and it's absolutely fantastic, and I definitely recommend it. And the area surrounding Jasper also has some of the most beautiful mountain lakes you'll ever see. For example, Moline Lake is one of the most photographed and picturesque lakes in the Canadian Rockies, and this is definitely a very popular spot for taking pictures and exploring the surrounding area. And you've also got Pyramid Lake. This is another very popular and picturesque lake with excellent hiking around the town of Jasper. And so again, like someone mentioned in one of my comments, when you're in Banff, it feels like the mountains are right on top of you, whereas in Jasper, it feels like they're a bit more distant and there's more open space. And this is generally true, but each of these towns just has excellent surrounding areas. And so I think when you're comparing the topography and surrounding areas of Banff and Jasper, I'm gonna have to declare a tie. Okay, at number 3 is access to goods and services. And in this category, I think it's pretty clear that Banff is the winner, and I'll explain why. So the town of Banff is about twice as big as Jasper, and so the town itself does have more goods, services, and amenities than Jasper. Banff is also about 20 minutes from the town of Canmore. Canmore is a beautiful mountain town, and it's bigger than Banff and Jasper combined, and it has a ton of services and amenities. And then Banff is also about an hour and a half to Calgary, which is the largest city in Alberta and contains one of the busiest international airports in the country. And so Banff is just a lot closer to major population centers than Jasper is. Jasper is a lot more isolated, which is honestly part of its charm. And then when you're talking about Jasper, it definitely has fewer goods and services within the town itself compared to Banff, just given the fact that it's a lot smaller. And then when you're talking about the closest small city or big town, that would be Hinton. Hinton has about 10,000 people, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes from Jasper. And when you're comparing Hinton and Canmore, there's really no comparison. Canmore is definitely the bigger and more beautiful of the two towns. And then Jasper to Edmonton, which is the nearest major city, is about 3 hours and 45 minutes. And so clearly Jasper is more isolated, and like I said, I think that really contributes to its charm and overall vibe. But when you're talking about access to goods and services, Banff definitely wins in this category. Okay, at number 4 is the local art scenes in each of these two towns. Now I know some of you won't really care. I mean, you're going to the mountains to enjoy the great outdoors and natural beauty. However, arts and creativity really add to the overall enjoyment of life for people living in any town or city. And again, in this category, Banff is the clear winner. Banff has the Center for Arts and Creativity, which was established in 1933 as the Banff School of Drama. It's affiliated with the University of Calgary, but it's a non-degree granting post-secondary institution. And this place just has a fantastic reputation for promoting the arts. They offer various classes and workshops throughout the year, and they present a variety of performances and visual arts. Banff also has a bunch of other art galleries. For example, the Mountain Galleries at the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel is one of the largest commercial galleries in Western Canada, and they have a fantastic collection. You also have the Canada House Gallery. This is another well-regarded facility that represents Canadian, Indigenous, and Inuit artists. And then Banff also has the White Museum of the Canadian Rockies. This place does a great job of preserving the history and cultural heritage of the Rocky Mountains of Canada, and it's a really cool place to visit, especially for history buffs. And then obviously the town of Jasper is a lot smaller, and it doesn't have nearly as strong a local art scene. However, it does have some excellent facilities for creative pursuits. The Jasper Community Habitat for the Arts opened in 2016, and in addition to holding classes and workshops, it puts on events and displays of all sorts of artistic projects, and this is a very popular spot within Jasper. This building also holds the Jasper Art Gallery, which is presided over by the Jasper Artists Guild, and they also have a fantastic collection of art. I also really enjoy the Jasper Yellowhead Museum and Archives. I'm a bit of a history buff, and this is just a great little museum, and they have a quality collection of the area's history and cultural heritage. And so Jasper definitely has some cool options, but in this category, I definitely have to declare Banff the winner. It has an exceptionally strong art scene. And then the last category on my list is dining and nightlife. And personally, in this category, I had to call a draw, and each of these towns have a wide variety of options. And when you're talking about Banff, obviously it's a lot bigger, it's more busy and vibrant, and it does have more dining options. I mean, I don't want to throw too many options at you, but some places I'd recommend are the Bison Restaurant. This has been around for years. It's a solid overall choice and one of the highest rated restaurants in Banff. You also have the very popular Magpie and Stump Mexican restaurant and bar. As a huge fan of Mexican food and the odd drink when I'm on vacation, I definitely personally love this place and I would recommend it. And one of my top recommendations for places to eat when you're in the town of Banff is the weekend brunch buffet in the Vermilion Room of the Banff Springs Hotel. Honestly, this is one of the best breakfasts and buffets and just meals I've ever had in my entire life. And then one thing that Banff has that Jasper doesn't really quite have is a vibrant nightlife scene. I mean, this isn't Los Angeles, it has limited options, but you can definitely have a fun night out in Banff. The Dancing Sasquatch is probably the best known club. It's okay, I've been here a couple times. But as I get older, I definitely prefer places like the Beaver Bar or the Rose and Crown or even the Elk and Oarsman. All of these are great pubs where you can also have a great night out. And honestly, Banff just has a ton of options for dining or grabbing a drink or a coffee or anything like that. And then when you're talking about Jasper, obviously it's a lot smaller than Banff, but the overall quality of restaurants in Jasper is just as good as what you'll find in Banff. I always like to mention the Jasper Brewing Company. This is actually the same company that owns the Banff Avenue Brewing Company in Banff. But the Jasper Brewing Company was formed in 2005, and this was the first brewery in a Canadian National Park. And Jasper just has a very proud local pub culture. And of course, they have the distinction of having the first brewery in a Canadian National Park. And this is just a very popular spot within the town. I'd also recommend the Raven Bistro. This is a Mediterranean-inspired restaurant, not what you'll typically find in a mountain town like Jasper, but the food quality is excellent, and this is a very popular spot. I also love the Alba restaurant. They do high-end Italian food, and it's just a very quality spot within the town. And then I think one of the most picturesque restaurants in Jasper is called The View, and this is overlooking the shores of the stunning Maligne Lake. And this probably has the best overall views and atmosphere of all the restaurants in Jasper. And personally, one thing I love about dining in Jasper is that it's always a lot more relaxed and less crowded than Banff. It just feels a lot more laid back. I don't know, maybe this helps me digest my food better. And the quality of restaurants is the same. They just have fewer options in Jasper because it's a lot smaller. And so with each of these towns having fantastic options for restaurants, cafes, and bars, in this category, I personally think it's a tie between the two towns. Okay, so those were my comparisons of the two towns in 5 different categories, and according to my opinions, I think that Banff is the slightly better town. In terms of overall vibe, I do think that Jasper is the winner. It's just a lot more relaxed and laid back, and Banff is definitely a lot busier, and a lot of people don't enjoy that as much. Whereas Jasper offers the same basic options as Banff, it's just a lot more laid back, and so I definitely think it has the better vibe right now. When you're talking about topography and surrounding areas, each of these two towns has relatively equal options for places to explore, and I don't think there's a clear winner. When it comes to access to goods and services, Banff is the clear winner. The town itself has a lot more options than the town of Jasper, and it's also a lot closer to not only a major town, but a major city with an international airport. And again, Banff is the winner when you're talking about local art scene. The Banff Centre for Arts and Creativity is just a powerhouse within the town, and Banff really benefits from having a very strong local art scene. And honestly, the town of Jasper just doesn't really compare in this category. And then lastly, when you're talking about dining and nightlife, even though Banff is a lot bigger and busier, the quality of options in each of these two towns is relatively equal. And a lot of people prefer dining in Jasper just because it's a lot less busy and more laid back. And so for this comparison video, I'm going to have to declare Banff to be the winner, but only slightly. Both Banff and Jasper offer excellent options for visitors, and you can't go wrong visiting either of these two towns. And that pretty much wraps up my video. I hope you found that interesting and informative, and if you'd like to watch more of my content in general, please consider subscribing to my channel. I upload at least one new video per week. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Strange North channel.